Hi, Brian here to explain the new Carnival pricing database on Hooked on Carnival. When you first go to the page, you see that there's a manufacturer area, pattern, shape, description, color, and auction venue. And then, of course, all of your results are down here below once you search. When you first go to the page, it just pulls up by manufacturer from Brockwitz on and then sorts by pattern. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. But the simplest way to do this is to know what it is that you're looking for. So I'm going to say manufacturer because I know what I'm looking for is going to be Northwood, but I'll put it anyway. I'm going to put in Northwood, and then I'm going to do peacocks. Now I know it's going to be a bowl, and under description, that's where you get into some of the variances like ruffled or pie crust edge and such. So I'm going to put in pie crust edge or PCE, which is what we described for, and we will have somewhere on here a legend for you so that you know exactly what it is, different shapes and such are. And for color, I'm going to put in blue. I'm not going to put in electric blue, I'm just going to put in blue. A lot of times the variable, the different forms of colors and all that will be included, but I'm just going to do blue. An auction venue, that could be a club like HoCA or ICGA, or it could be online. I'm going to leave that one blank. I'm going to go ahead and hit search. The database thinks for a minute, and then down below, boom. Now we have every blue pie crust edge Peacocks bowl that was sold this year. Now you'll see there are peacocks on the fence. There's one right here that will change so that it's consistent with all of the others, but here are all of them. So the way that this works is you see the manufacturer listed here, Northwood, the pattern, peacocks, the shape is the bowl, and then the description. The description gives you a little bit more. Pie crust edges here. If it were ruffled, it would say ruffled. In this one, Tom Burns actually put the size, so we put the size in. Some of them have the rib back, depending on the back, if it was in the description or not. Color is blue. And then here, in order, are the prices. So you can see the different prices that go up. Now, because of the different types of descriptions and stuff like that, the prices here don't go from lowest to high because they're not consistent throughout. The other thing we have here is the date. The date shows you the date that it was actually sold on. If it was an online, that's the date that it ended on. If it was a convention auction or something, that's the date of the auction. If there's any damage, you see that there was damage here. And one of the things that we are doing with our search is putting in as much damage that we know about so that you can actually tell why it didn't maybe get as much as another one and what that damage was. And I'll show you here in a minute. In some cases, we're actually able to show you pictures of the damage. It shows you who the auctioneers were, and then it also shows you the photos. Now, one of the things that people will like the most about this is that this also generates a gallery on the fly. So if I click on the first photo, it will pop up, and you'll see I can now go through and see every single photo that we have in the results here. So it's going to show me every one of the pie crust edge blue peacocks bowls that we have. Some are stippled, some are not. But you can see that they're all right here, all the way through. And it shows you all of them. This one actually, because I put in blue, you can see there's a nice blue one as well. So let's look at this one here. It says does have a crack. So usually the way that these works are the first picture is going to be the picture of the piece. Second one might be a different picture like this, like this, where you see a bigger out version of it. But usually the third one or second or third one, depending on the number of pictures of it, will actually show you the damage. And here you see there's actually indeed a crack in that piece. So now you know that it's there. One of the other things with the results that you can do is click on, when you see the pattern over here, it's a link. Let's click on this one. It'll take us to a new page. And the new page shows us a little bit more information, including what the actual auctioneer's description was. Northwood electric blue peacock stippled pie crust edge bowl. Super hot, but does have a crack. Does not start on the edge. What a bowl. Damage, we put does have a crack. And it gives you a little bit more information there. So you can see that this is the way, essentially, once we go back to the search page, we have a nice search page ready to go again. My information was up here. I can put other things in. I'm going to go ahead and go back to a search on the one that we just did, the pie crust edge blue. So that pulls those up. Now, the other thing that we can do here is sort, and we're going to sort all of the information that we have in front of us. So now I'm going to sort by price, and I'm going to do ascending, so it's lowest to highest. So when I do that, it's going to rearrange these. It doesn't matter what color, damage, any of that. It's going to show me the lowest to the highest. So, of course, this ice blue one brought 575. But if we stick with the blues, and they all generally, I could see how some of them would be considered electric blue, and you know, it's up to you as to whether you consider it electric or not. The price for these, starting at 70 for a damaged one, up to 325 for this top one that HoC did back in January. Very pretty one. It's not stippled, but you can see kind of where you go there. So let's go ahead and do something a little bit different when it comes to search. I'm going to show you how you can put in part of something. Acorn burrs. So I'm just going to put in acorn instead of acorn burrs, and I'm going to do a search. And it's going to pull up anything that has the word acorn in the pattern. So as you can imagine, there's going to be your acorn burrs, there's some acorns, there's brocaded acorns, autumn acorns, so they're all there. So this will actually show you anything that's part of it. So if you type in blue or Vaseline or something, if you type in just part of the pattern, it's going to give you everything that has that pattern in there. If you do grape, of course, you're going to get a million results that are grape and cable and such. So this way I can also look and say, what I really was looking for was acorn burrs, and I do want to just get the tumblers. So I can put in Northwood to make the search a little bit deeper, and I can put in tumbler, and I can put in burrs. And then let's see if there were any green ones done. And right here, it looks like, yes, there were 2 green ones. Mickey sold both of them. One was in January, one was in March. This one we don't have the picture in yet, but it's going in soon. Some pieces will not have one, but there we go. Here's one. It was lot 210, and it brought $22.50. And again, if I click on the pattern name here, I can learn a little bit more information. G, acorn burrs, tumbler, find one better. And it tells you the lot number that it was in that auction on March 12th. And we go back to a clean search. If you find something in here that doesn't seem right, or it seems completely off, if you find a $5,000 piece that only has $1 and no explanation for, one thing that you can do is submit feedback for us. And when you do that, what it does is it pops up a new window, and in this window, you just put in your information, your name, your email, describe the issue here, and then if you can, do a screen capture, do a print screen or something, and you can upload an image of it. For instance, if you discover that we have a piece in there that says $1,000 and it's supposed to be blue, but wow, it's actually green, then there's something wrong. This feedback comes to us so that we know that there's an issue that we can fix. Also, if you see something that you'd really love to have in here, but we don't have, so, some kind of a feature or something like that, you can submit a feature request here, and we'll see if it's something that we can make happen. The other issue that I would show you too is that you can do some fun things even right here at the main screen in the main search. Let's say I want to sort. I'm going to clear all these out so there's no filters whatsoever. And right now, we've got it set to where it's literally pulling. There's over 7,000 items in the database so far. This is everything from 2016 so far. We're working backwards and forwards, so we're going to put in 2015 next and then 2014 while continuing to put the new auctions in. But let's go ahead and do price descending, and this is for everything in the database. This is going to be a quick way to tell me what the highest selling pieces were this year in Carnival Glass, anything that was sold at auction. Yep, there it is. The Aqua Opal Butterscotch tree trunk vase that Jim HoC sold in May. So now that we've got these pulled up, this is everything that's sold high to low this year. And if you go down, you can go on and on and on. But the other thing that's nice about this, so now you can see what's sold really high this year, but you can again also click on the photos. Suddenly you have a nice 234 picture, which is just what is on this page. gallery of the highest selling pieces this year in Carnival glass. Now, as we add in other years, you'll be able to search by year, but you'll also be able to do, over time. So once we have 15 or 20 years worth of data in here, you'll be able to look back and see what the highest selling pieces were at auction from then on, and kind of have a nice little list. So it shows you a great way of getting pictures of the pieces as well as what they did. So just a nice little feature there. So if you have any questions or whatever, remember, submit feedback. You can also email us in the mailing list or contact us through Facebook. But the idea is this is something that's searchable, that we're adding to all the time, that will help you kind of decide, values and stuff for not only your collection, but perhaps things that you might want to buy. So enjoy it, and we'll talk to you soon.